At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
For years, the United States of America has engaged in not only military combat, but in a war of persuasion for the hearts and minds of the Islamic world.
There are thousands of people across this planet who get up every morning actively seeking to destroy the United States. They are spreading their poison by a variety of recruiting devices.
Is it possible to win the hearts and minds of the next generation of Muslims?
We are not at war against Islam. We're at war against terrorist organizations.
Recently, however, the national media has become engaged in their own war of persuasion. Their target? The American people.
Now, when you say, hey, we're not actually at war with Islam, now when you say that, it's not just a rhetorical point.
What is the number of Islamic terrorists? 1%?
There is a significant part of the mainstream conservative movement in this country that contests that point.
I think it's closer to 10%, but the rest of the PC world will tell you, oh no.
There is a lot of ignorance about who Muslims are.
I have no opposition to the mosque being built in the South Bronx.
A center like this will be dedicating to removing that ignorance, and it will also counter the extremists.
I have no opposition to the mosque being built 20 blocks away.
You say it's 600 feet. Would 800 feet be okay? Would 2 blocks around the side? You know, when does it become okay? 3 blocks, 3.5?
It is a political act to create this facility close to ground zero.
We sacrificed 4,415 of our military personnel in Iraq to save Muslims, and there are thousands of us still there tonight to protect Muslims, but we don't want Muslims to open a combination culinary school and prayer space in Manhattan.
I like, I like jihad. Jihad? Or G-hunk. How about infidel-licious? Or turban cowboy? Do you like turban cowboy?
My favorite?
What?
Suspicious packages.
Yes, that's a nice one.
For months, the debate on the Park 51 project, widely known as the Ground Zero Mosque, has raged on in the national media. Given all of the attention the national media has given the debate, we decided to see what New Yorkers really thought about the Park 51 project.
And where are you from?
Bayonne.
Bayonne. Okay.
Just moved, yeah.
New Milford, New Jersey.
I'm from New York.
I live right here in Battery Park.
I believe in freedom of religion. I really do, but I do also agree that we're all Americans and that touched us all that day, and I think that it's a sacred spot and that we should respect their and their families that day.
You know, you don't tell the Jewish people where to have a synagogue, but I just think it's in bad taste for them to put it that close to hollow ground.
People have a right to freedom of religion, and they should be able to build whatever they want. And just for them basing it off of the attack, that's not fair.
Our country was founded by people fleeing religious persecution, and I think religious freedom is something it's in the First Amendment. It's so important in this country, and we have to guard it by allowing people to build this mosque. If you live in New York, you know that there are many things 2 blocks away from ground zero. There's a mosque, but there's so many other things as well. But if you live outside of New York, you may not know that, and you may have this sensational view of like a mosque being built literally on ground zero, which is not what's happening.
Marist polling from July 28th to August 5th indicated that 53% of Manhattan residents supported Park 51. Nonetheless, New Yorkers' sentiments would have been largely ignored on the national level, if not for staunch advocacy from Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
We would betray our values and play into our enemies' hands if we were to treat Muslims differently than anyone else.
You feel like it's disrespectful?
That people won't allow them to build it? Yeah, I think that's disrespectful.
In fact, to cave to popular sentiment would be to hand a victory to the terrorists, and we should not stand for that.
It saddens me to see a lot of anti-Arab sentiment out there. I think the mosque would be a great community builder.
Give a big message to the whole world, like there's no difference between Christian, Muslim, and Jewish.
And it just really saddens me to see a lot of, backlash against it, a lot of fear.
But with the midterm elections looming, it seemed as though wherever the media drove the debate, campaign ads followed.
After the Muslims conquered Jerusalem,
and Cordoba and Constantinople, they built victory mosques. And now they want to build a mosque by ground zero.
On September 11th, they declared war against us. And to celebrate that murder of 3,000 Americans, they want to build a monstrous 13-story mosque at ground zero. This ground is sacred.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but a strip club and an off-track betting didn't knock down the World Trade Centers that day.
Where we weep, they rejoice.
We don't want the mosque anywhere near ground zero because it shits all over America.
That mosque is a monument to their victory and an invitation for more.
They came here, they bombed, okay? They drove planes to our buildings. They were going to build a mosque here? No, no way.
When's the grand opening of this ground zero mosque? September 11th, 2011.
Barack Obama says building a mosque at ground zero is about tolerance. He's wrong.
There is a difference between tolerance and surrender. The word Islam literally means surrender.
Join the fight to kill the ground zero mosque. Go to GOPtrust.com.
The terrorists haven't won, and we should tell them in plain English, no, there will never be a mosque at ground zero.
It is this strong anti-mosque and at times anti-Muslim sentiment in the media by politicians and pundits alike that brought the debate to its darkest hour.
A Southern pastor with a small following suddenly has people all over the world following his plans. That's because he has pledged to burn a copy of the Quran this weekend.
We're concerned that the images from the burning of a Quran would be used in the same way that extremists used images from Abu Ghraib to incite violence and to inflame public opinion against us and against our mission here in Afghanistan.
A cab driver is in the hospital after being slashed, police say, by a passenger who asked the driver if he was Muslim. When the driver said yes, cops say Enright pulled a knife and slashed him across the throat, arm, and lip. The case is one of several alleged hate crimes in 4 states being looked into by federal officials.
The country's 24-hour Politico pundit perpetual panic conflictinator did not cause our problems, but its existence makes solving them that much harder.
Political analyst Paul Berman argues that the war on terror is ultimately a war between liberal societies and its enemies. He contends that America must remain committed to its liberal ideals in order to defeat those who perpetrated the attacks on 9/11. However, thanks to ratings-driven media hype, opportunistic politicians, and their election season fear-mongering, the mosque debate did not reflect the ideals we wish to portray as a nation. If the Park 51 project is not left to those New Yorkers who will live with its consequences, the Islamic world will never witness the ideals that endured in Lower Manhattan during America's darkest hours, the very ideals we need to win their hearts and minds.